Part 9: The Impediments of Modernity and the Pragmatic Execution of C-Cube. I am Naresh Saraph, and I welcome you to this series of intimate philosophical dialogues. Friends, before we commence this profound discourse, permit me a humble caveat. This series is intended solely for the cultivation of profound contemplation, the expansion of cognitive horizons, and the elevation of human awareness. The paradigms articulated herein are synthesized from ancient philosophical tenets and my own empirical understanding. This discourse does not constitute medical, clinical, or Ayurvedic counsel, nor does it harbor the slightest intent to transgress upon anyone's deeply held convictions. I implore you to receive it with an open intellect, profound maturity, and a deeply contemplative spirit. In our previous session, we illuminated the profound synergy between the C-cube and the zenith of human creativity. Thus far, we have navigated the theoretical, biochemical, and philosophical dimensions. However, today, we must descend from the ivory tower of theory and confront a brutal, pragmatic reality. How does one actually execute this protocol amidst the chaotic cadence of modern life? Let us candidly examine the diurnal reality of the contemporary knowledge worker. He is jolted from inadequate slumber by a digital alarm, instantly thrust into a state of temporal deficit. The morning routine is a frantic blur. A mindful breakfast is an alien luxury. He hastily consumes refined bread or a sugar-laden biscuit before hurling himself into urban commuting. By the time he crosses the threshold of his corporate sanctum, his cognitive reserves are already severely depleted. He seeks refuge in the artificial stimulation of the office vending machine. Lunch is dictated by convenience, typically a heavy, lipid-oxidized offering from the corporate cafeteria that induces a profound postprandial somnolence. Focus is lost. By late afternoon, drowning in cognitive fatigue, he resorts to further caffeinated and glycemic stimulants. He returns domicile late in the evening, his vital force utterly extinguished. Culinary preparation is insurmountable, prompting the procurement of hyper-processed fast food. He collapses into a restless stupor, only for the Sisyphean cycle to recommence. Where is the sanctuary? The salvation lies in two potent, actionable concepts: strategic planning and mindful awareness. Execution does not demand the skills of a master chef or exotic superfoods. It simply demands the exercise of intellectual agency in making superior choices within the parameters of one's existing routine. It is a choice of the mind. The morning repast is the most critical metabolic event for the intellectual laborer. Instead of succumbing to refined flour, one can effortlessly prepare overnight oats. By integrating sesame seeds for calcium and crushed walnuts for beneficial cholesterol, one creates a biochemically perfect CQ breakfast in a mere 2 minutes of nocturnal preparation. Alternatively, a Rajai porridge requires 5 minutes. Enriched with warm milk and a modicum of jaggery, it provides sustained cognitive fuel that powers the intellect well past the meridian. Regarding the mid-morning cognitive slump, the solution is equally elegant. One must banish processed snacks and substitute them with a repository of trail mix, almonds, walnuts, and seeds. When hunger manifests, this substitution delivers a precise payload of calcium and beneficial cholesterol when the neural circuitry demands reinforcement, entirely circumventing the sugar crash. Even within the constraints of a corporate cafeteria, intellectual agency can be exercised. One must actively select complex carbohydrates over deep-fried enticements. Look for the whole grain. One must mandate the inclusion of a substantial portion of fibrous green vegetables and legumes, ensuring the triad of the C-cube is respected even in the office environment. For the evening sustenance, the doctrine is unequivocal. It must be consumed early, it must be metabolically light, and it must be anchored in complex carbohydrates. Respect the rhythm. A traditional preparation of khichdai enriched with pure ghee, or a millet flatbread with vegetable stew, constitutes the perfect nocturnal protocol, facilitating deep, restorative sleep. Furthermore, we must address the insidious specter of chronic stress. The physiological response is the hypersecretion of cortisol, a hormone that actively depletes calcium reserves. Stress elevates pathogenic cholesterol and induces a ravenous craving for refined sugars. It is a biochemically destructive feedback loop that we must break with intention. Therefore, the active management of stress through breathing, meditation, or mindful walking is not a luxury. It is a central, non negotiable pillar of the C Cube lifestyle. Hold fast to this metaphor. You are an intellectual athlete. Just as an Olympic sprinter calibrates their intake, you must exercise rigorous discipline regarding cerebral nourishment. The super ultra balancing is not a punitive dietary restriction. It is the ultimate expression of self respect. It is the acknowledgement that your labor is of immense value. The instrument of that labor, your brain, deserves nothing less than the absolute highest quality of biochemical sustenance. Give it what it needs to perform. We shall meet soon in the next part, but do not forget to subscribe to the Naresh Saraph channel. Quickly like the video, press the bell icon, hype it, and contemplate it.